My name is Rebekah Leach, and I am the paid search results lead. So I do all things PPC. The first trend I see for 2024 with PPC is automation and machine learning. Just like automation's been helping with improving through like bidding strategies and picking the right bid strategy can really help lower your costs and make your budget go further. It also can free up our time to work on other things that can help us just amplify our impact on an account. The next one is just use of first party data has just been booming as we're going to be losing some stuff with changes in how Chrome works soon. First party data allows us to leverage information we already have about customers and site visitors and use that information to improve our performance. For example, here at WebFX, we have integrations effects, which allows us to use this data to provide additional info back to our ad campaigns as a user progresses through the sales cycle. So we can, each time we have a touch point with a client, we can indicate that hey, they've moved forward in the sales cycle, so people like this are more valuable and we want to go after them. Another one I see is experimenting with Microsoft ads. With the boom of like Microsoft's AI this past year, there's been a lot more interest in Bing, which uses Microsoft ads. I've seen a lot more users, advertisers being willing to test out Microsoft ads just to see how they do, especially as Google's become more competitive. And this is often a way that we can bring in more leads at a lower cost, which is always a win. There are also some features that Microsoft Ads offers that Google doesn't. One of my favorites is being able to target a user based on their LinkedIn profile data. So this can be really impactful for businesses if you have for B2B businesses specifically, because you can find someone in your industry, or maybe there's a specific job title you want, and you can add bid adjustments to go after them. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge we're seeing with PPC is just increased competition. Now, more often than not, businesses have an online presence, they're running ads. If they're not, they're trying to get into it now. So it's just costs are going up. So it's even more important that we have a solid foundation to help ensure that our ads have the best chance of coming in on top of the ad auction. Also, with that, lead quality has been a real big focus because previously there wasn't as much competition. So it might have been okay for some lower quality leads to come through. But now we're getting more focused on improving that lead quality so that we're making sure our budget is not only going further, but it's also driving those quality leads that are going to result in a sale or a lead, a high quality lead for us. So with that, like automated strategies can be really helpful. First party data is to ensure that we're sending quality signals back to Google. So we're not just focusing on quantity, but also that quality aspect. Yeah, I think the first one might seem kind of obvious, but it is so important, is just ensuring that we have a solid foundation of best practices in place. If the best practices aren't in place, we're going to be trying maybe more complex strategies that just don't have a strong foundation to go off of. So maybe we're sending poor quality signals back to Google, we're driving leads we don't want to drive, that type of thing. So a couple of questions I always kind of ask myself when I'm thinking about this is, does the conversion strategy match our account, or if we have campaign level goals, those goals? Looking at the search terms that we're driving, does the search intent of those keywords match what we want to be triggering for? Do they match our product or the service we're promoting through our ads? And then third, does the ad copy compel users to click through to our site? If there's not a call to action or it's not clear what product or service is being promoted through the ads, people aren't going to come through. So your ads are just going to get views, but they're not going to get clicks. So people aren't going to come to the site and convert. Another tip is to make sure we're providing Google's machine learning with high quality signals. So this can be a number of things. So like we talked about earlier, first party data, we have that information about our customers and people in the sales cycle. So using that to tell Google who we like and who we want to go after more can be really helpful. Adding conversion values to our conversions can be really impactful also. This can be through first party data, and it can also just be in general in our account so that we're going after those high quality leads. An example I use a lot is we might want to drive newsletters to get people into our sales cycle so we can market back to them. But a newsletter lead is going to be a lot less of a value immediately than someone who's filling out a request a quote form. And tying back into that, we can use CPA or ROAS targets to help ensure that we're optimizing towards whatever our targets might be so that we're driving those leads at a price that we're comfortable with and that makes sure that those leads are profitable for us.